So you're thinking about moving to Aledo, Texas. Well, in this video, we're going to tell you everything you need to know about this humble Fort Worth sister city. And if you stick around to the end, we're going to let you know if this is a good decision for you if you're thinking of moving to the area. Hey guys, and welcome to the channel. My name's Jack Lisenby. Together with Tom Jung, we are your local DFW real estate agents. So what is Aledo? Aledo is a city just to the west of Fort Worth and Dallas area. It is a quiet little town that was built off of a railroad station, and it's kind of become a draw for a lot of people because it's a really nice, quiet town. It's far away from the hustle and bustle of the city, and it has really decent schools, and we're going to talk about that in this video a little bit as well. So looking at the map here, you can actually see we have Aledo proper outlined. This is just Google Maps. This is a rough outline of what the city itself looks like, and Aledo does extend well past these lines. This is just the city proper. You have the city center here and everything, and as we zoom out, you're going to see to the west we actually have Weatherford, its largest nearest neighbor, which is at about a 20-minute drive if you take the 20 up here. And the 20 actually splits into the 30 and 20 here as you head east to Fort Worth, and a drive to Fort Worth will take you about 35 minutes to get to the city center. Zooming out a little further, you see we have Arlington over here. If you're trying to get to Arlington, that's about a 40-minute drive. Dallas is about 50 to an hour depending on traffic. And then lastly, if you're trying to get to the DFW airport, it's going to be about a 35-minute drive. So you're not too far away from everything in the Metroplex, but you're far enough away that it's not ringing in your ears all day. So now that we know where Aledo is, let's get to learn a little bit more about Aledo itself. So if we zoom back into it, get this out of the way here, and zoom back into Aledo, you see the city itself is actually fairly small, and I feel like that's actually one of the draws to Aledo. There isn't a whole ton in the city itself besides residents and like city administration, but that's part of the allure, is just the fact that there's not going to be a ton of traffic coming through there. Most of the people who are in Aledo are there to just live, and so most of the stuff that comes through there is just people living in Aledo. It's not like you have a bunch of trucks that come through there or a bunch of people that show up for events. So if you're looking for a place where you and your neighbor know each other and everyone that comes in and out of the city, this is pretty much as close as you can get with this size of a population. So right here in the city center of Aledo, you can actually see this line here is the original train track, and the train station I believe is like right here next to this Aledo diner. And that was the actual original train station that Aledo was built off of. You can also see here that they've got the middle school stadium and baseball field over here as well. But for the most part, it's going to be a couple of restaurants, some grocery, and the rest of it's just going to be residential. You do have, as you go out a little bit further here, you've got golf clubs all around Aledo. You've got Benbrook Lake and a couple of smaller lakes here to the south of Aledo. But zooming in, there's not going to be a whole heck of a lot of things in Aledo itself. So now I know I'm dogging on there not being a lot to do in Aledo, but let's talk about what there actually is there to do. So if we go in here and we take a look at the road, as you come in here from the 20, this is going to be the main throughway for people coming into the city. The first thing you're going to see is a bunch of service industries. So we've got things like your Taco Bell, burgers. We've got like an oil change and a nail spa. These are pretty typical of like the type of industry that you're going to find here in Aledo. It's going to be very mom and pop. It's going to be strip mall storefront style. It's not going to be these big shopping complexes like you're going to see in like Fort Worth or Dallas or anything like that. Everything's very low rise, and you can see the landscape for miles. It's actually very beautiful. As you come in here, there's this nice little loop here, and this is where the vast majority of Aledo industry is actually settled around. There's a bunch of shopping malls and not shopping malls, I'm sorry, but like a strip mall with like boutiques and restaurants and stuff just right along here. It also continues here along the main road. As you come down here further, you're going to find that here's the actual elementary school. By the way, if I haven't mentioned it before, Aledo schools are phenomenal. We'll get to the ratings and everything here in just a little bit, but we have that down there, the middle school up here and everything. This is all going to be residents and some administration. So you see here we have like the postal service, but everything you can find it just right here along this main road, save for a couple of exceptions like, you know, the cemetery and RV park, things that are going to be a little bit more out of the way for one reason or another. But that about sums up the industry in Aledo itself. If you're looking for something a little more to get your heart pumping, you're gonna have to probably make your way outside of the city. Like I said, Aledo is very expansive, so if you can find an empty plot of land to go ride a dirt bike around on or something like that, it's probably a great place for that. But if you need something a little more city-esque, you're gonna have to find your way into either Weatherford or Fort Worth to find more amenities. So aside from the industry that they have there in Aledo, what else is there to do? Well, like I said, Aledo School District is phenomenal. And that being said, they also have a ton of supportive programs in and around the city that help with all the different athletic programs that they have there at the school. So if we're actually looking here at the map, if we head up here towards the highway, it's around here. There's actually a D1 training facility near Aledo, and several, like there's all kinds of gymnastics, ballet, dance, all up in this area here as you get closer to the highway. And as you head down this way, there's actually a fun center. It's kind of like a main event or a paintball course kind of thing off to the east over here. And then as you head over here to the west, there's actually a golf courses and all sorts of other stuff in that direction. So if you've got kids that are into sports in high school or just athleticism in general, this Aledo is a phenomenal spot for it. And even for mom and pop, there's a bunch of fitness boutiques and fitness centers around the city itself. So it seems like everything in Aledo industry is just geared towards getting people in shape, and I'm all about it. And so now I know this whole time I've been harping on how great the schools in Aledo are, how everything seems to revolve around the schools in Aledo, but we'll get to that right now. So it's not a joke. Like, people will literally go way out of their way to find a place to live in Aledo ISD. There's actually a neighborhood to the south of Aledo called Bella Crossing, and part of it's in Fort Worth ISD, part of it's in Aledo ISD, and the schools in Aledo are so sought after that people will pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to get one of the houses or lots that are in Aledo ISD over Fort Worth ISD. No shade at Fort Worth ISD, but it's pretty mid. But whenever we actually come up here, we get all of our data from niche.com, by the way. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that up right here. And as you can see, the entire school district itself is A-rated on niche.com. So if we actually go into the schools over here, you can see that we've got Vandergrift Elementary School, which is A-rated. We're going to go and get the breakdown on that. It looks like they've got great teachers and academics. They lack a little bit in diversity. But you're going to get stuff like that as you go further away from the city. Diversity is going to go down. So if that's something that's important to you, that may end up being a call you have to make. Aledo Middle School is also A-rated. Again, teachers, academics, phenomenal. Diversity suffers a little bit. And if we go to the high school here, we have Aledo High School. This one's A- rated. So I realize that high schools are going to have a slightly lower average grade than the other schools because there are going to be more students coming from further away. So that's going to change the experience in the grading system. But we still have phenomenal academics, teachers, clubs, and activities. Diversity suffers again. Administration is a bit of a bump there. Food is decent. Actually, B+ is pretty good for niche.com. No lie. College prep is decent as well, but you see that they do suffer a little bit on resources and facilities. That's probably going to come from the fact that they are a smaller school district and they are not able to tax as much or put as much money into their school because of that. So now if you're actually thinking about moving to the Aledo area, we're going to take a look at some of the houses that are currently for sale on there so you guys can get an idea of what the price point is going to be, what type of architecture or style of house there is available in this area, so you can get a better feel for what this neighborhood's like. So looking here, this is actually the MLS right here, the backside, what most realtors see. And I have the map open right now and filtered out everything that's not Aledo. These are currently active on the MLS as of recording. Today is the August 4th. So some of these may not be available by the time that you guys check, but hopefully it'll at least give you guys an idea. And as you see here, like I said before, most of Aledo itself, there's some pockets of residents around the city center, but the vast majority of Aledo housing is actually going to be a little bit further out. We do have this little neighborhood over here. If we look, these look like they float around the $600,000 range, a couple in the sevens. Opening up one of these if the MLS wants to work with me here. So these are all new homes, Clarity Homes. It looks like this is a new home community that they have over here. And this is actually the high school right here. So that means this is part of Parks of Aledo. So yeah, we got Bailey Ranch Road here. This goes right through the city, or I'm sorry, right through the center of the neighborhood, and it splits off on either side. And this place has lovely trails all in and throughout it. The houses here are beautiful. Most of these are going to be new homes, so they may not have a ton of photos available online. Here's one of 800,000. We could take a look at some of these without divulging any of the housing information there, but you can see, so you've got these nice vaulted ceilings. You're going to get a lot of architectural accents and things, big windows, nice visibility, and this is going to be pretty standard for a lot of the stuff in Aledo. It looks like the farmhouse style has really taken off over there, where you get this big open floor plan. You get your dining nook over there in the corner, seating at the bar area there on the counter. Some of them are 2 stories. A lot of them have actually been 1 stories, but they all have like really nice bathrooms, big masters. So you can see here, even vaulted ceilings in the master bedroom, these nice big windows letting in all this light. This is going to be pretty typical. Standalone tubs have also become a lot more popular, especially over there as you get away from the city. Just really beautiful architecture and everything. This is really well decorated as well. So very well presented house. And if we go back here to the map, that's pretty typical of what you're going to find in that neighborhood. Another really sought after neighborhood is this is Morningstar right here. So this one, and right across the street from it here is Walsh Ranch. We have videos on both of those. So if these are something that you're really interested in, I highly suggest you go check them out. Both phenomenal, giant neighborhoods with all these crazy amenities. We'll take a look at one from each just so you guys can get an idea. Let's see if we can find a more comparable price point that's going to have some photos on it. If we go here, let's see. This one might. Let's see. Riverside Home Builders. They're I believe the largest builder in the Morningstar community, but a lot of their stuff comparable to Walsh Ranch is a couple $1,000s cheaper and maybe has a couple less bells and whistles, but I feel like you still really get your bang for your buck with the money in these houses. Again, nice, huge open floor plans, higher ceilings. A couple of them are multi-story. I like this little herringbone, or not herringbone, the backsplash texture there with the crossed plank texture. Again, big windows. It looks like they may have shot the photos for this at night, but the house is still incredibly well lit. Just tons of space here. Again, beautiful. So we're going to go across the road there and take a look at one of the Walsh ones so you guys can get an idea. Again, here's a 675 one, roughly comparable, within 100,000 to the last couple we checked out. Let's see if it's going to pull up for me here. Boom. So here we are. So this is a typical house that you would see in Walsh Ranch. They kind of went for like a bungalow style for the elevation, which is really nice. So you get like these, you either get all brick or you get like a brick with second level wood paneling like you see here. Some of them even have like natural stone water lines. Honestly, the outside of these houses are beautiful, well painted and nice bright colors. So as you go in here, again, you get these nice high ceilings. You get like island seating, typically semi farmhouse style layout. This one's a little bit different since it is that bungalow style. You get 2 floor plans with a lot of these houses. Most of them are going to be between, I think you'll probably find some of the lower end ones at maybe 500,000, but most of them are going to be upwards close to 700,000, 800,000, all the way up to like 1.2 or 3 mil. For a lot of these houses here, and it really shows with the detail that they put into a lot of them, because you've got Highland Homes out here, you've got Toll Brothers, you've got Perry, you've got David Weekley, and they're all pulling out the stops. These guys are bringing their best for Walsh Ranch. So if top of the top is what you're looking for, this is the place that you want to go. But going back to the map here, just one quick little overview of the entire area. You can see it spreads all the way out towards Annetta South and Annetta North, over by these lakes here. There's a couple of communities in this area as well. So if you want to get even further away from Aledo itself, you have some options. And so now I'm going to answer the question, is Aledo right for you? Let me put it this way. Aledo is for the person who wants to be close enough that they can still access city amenities, but far enough away that they can't see, smell, hear, or feel them. So if you've got about $500,000 to sling around, so $500,000, if you can get approved for something like that, Aledo is a phenomenal place to start putting down roots. Even if you can't afford to buy a house, it's a phenomenal place to live in general. Like I said, schools kick butt. The location is amazing, and it's only growing. People know that Aledo exists. They want to move there, and they're bringing all these great things with them. Like I said, we've got Walsh Ranch and Morningstar, and those are just the tip of the iceberg. We've got Parks of Aledo as well. And with the advent of those coming up in Aledo area, they're going to bring all sorts of great people and great things with them. So I'm going to say yes. If that's something you're looking for, Aledo is a perfect place. Now, if you need something really high intensity or a lot of amenities in one area, Aledo may be something you need to pump the brakes on. While it's a beautiful community and a beautiful area, it may not be there for somebody who needs quick access to a lot of different things. All right, guys. Well, that's all I have for you today. Remember to leave a like and a comment, and go ahead and subscribe if you're not already, because it helps out us and it helps out the channel, and it helps us know what it is that you guys like watching. But as always, if you're looking to buy or sell, remember to keep calm. Call Tom.